do that, because when things fall apart here in the U.S., the people who are going to be able to put it back together are the ones that have preserved capital from outside the U.S., and they'll be able to come back into the U.S.
That's right, because the big mega rich that are anti-free market, they admit they can't wait till the collapse happens, because they're going to sell socialism as the answer and further wreck things under Cloward and Piven. I mean, there's got to be some way to try to stop them. Do you think there's any way to stop them, Doug?
The prognosis is not good. I suggest that charity begins at home, and the most important thing for every individual in this country
is take care of yourself.
Exactly. Because you can't take care of other people if you haven't first taken care of yourself. And the problem is that so many people that believe in the free market and libertarianism don't have the money, and they're not putting the theory into practice. And people that believe in capitalism and freedom, well, we should all be wealthy, because wealth gives you power, and we're going to need power to get rid of the bad guys. So I want to see everybody become wealthy. I'd like to see people do intelligent things with their money in this very dangerous financial environment we're in, so that they can weather the storm and come out the other side. Not just keeping what they have, but hopefully with more than they went into it.
And I know over at kcresearch.com, that's some of the advice you give. What are some of the basic strategies for folks out there that you would recommend?
Well, let's keep it simple. And from an investment point of view, at this point, the stock market is manically overpriced. It could go higher because with the trillions of new dollars that continue to be created, a lot of it's going to go into the stock market. The stock market could go higher, but it's risky, very risky. I don't recommend it. The bond market is a triple threat to your capital today. Interest rates are at all-time lows. Bonds are at all-time highs. If you own any, you should sell them tomorrow morning. That's not good. Real estate, well, at least it's real wealth, but real estate taxes are going up because it's time to tax to eat the rich, to tax the wealthy, and that means people that own real estate. Plus, the problem with real estate is that it floats on a sea of borrowed money, and when interest rates inevitably go up, that's not going to be good for real estate. So what are we left with? I've ruled out stocks, bonds, and real estate. So what can you do? Hold cash? You're getting zero interest rate, but inflation in real terms is running someplace between 5 and 8% per year, even now. I suggest that people build a significant position in physical gold and silver. Why? Because they've historically always been money, and they're the only financial assets that aren't simultaneously somebody else's liability. You can have it as real wealth in your hand, as international currency. So
and there were articles out just last week.
Every month.
Sure, just last week, I think it was in the London Guardian or the Telegraph, that there was a 240-something% increase in elites buying gold bars in just the last 6 months, while the very same elites tell the public don't get into gold and silver.
You're absolutely right, because in an unstable situation like we are right now, you don't want to be holding paper, especially the unsecured liabilities of the U.S. government, which is itself bankrupt at this point. So it boils down to buying gold and silver, the physical metals in your own possession. Going beyond that, you should diversify your assets internationally, so it's not all in one political bailiwick here in the U.S. The third thing, the third stool of the tripod, if you would, is that they're going to create other bubbles. They've created a gigantic bond bubble we're in now. We're in a stock market bubble. The real estate bubble broke back in 2008. They're building another one. But the key is this, is that they're going to be creating other bubbles like that, and it's possible to take advantage of these bubbles.
Exactly. Invest in the bubble early.
Exactly correct. So there are situations out there. Some are only available for, let's say, sophisticated investors. Like, for instance, I would short Japanese bonds denominated in yen, because as bad as things are here in the U.S., they're actually going to be worse in Japan. So that's a possibility. An easier thing is mining stocks. Mining is a terrible business. I can explain why it's a terrible business, but mining stocks are very, very depressed right now. And eventually, when gold and silver explode upward in price out of both fear and greed, there's going to be a panic into these mining stocks, which have teeny-weeny market caps. All the mining stocks in the world are only worth about a quarter of what Apple alone is worth, to give you an idea of how small that market is.
Unbelievable. Stay there. Absolutely undervalued. No doubt about that. Plus, things have to be retooled from time to time. And they've just been, government's been suppressing mining, so it's got to make a comeback. We'll be right back.
This hour brought to you by InfidelBodyArmor.com. When it hits the fan, don't be left without the body armor that will save your life. With prices starting at just $374.99 and ships free. Get yours at InfidelBodyArmor.com. Just won't quit.
Hi, Ted Anderson with Midas Resources. Is it time to convert paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver yet? Get our 10 Reasons book free. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective, and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
In the U.S., 1 in every 50 homes will have a break-in this year. Burglars call it smash and grab. Police call it robbery. We call it avoidable. We are Fake TV, a simple electronic device that can fool even professional burglars. Fake TV easily plugs into any outlet and simulates the changing colors of a television. To a burglar, it looks like someone must be home watching TV, so they'll likely move on to an easier target. At only $29.95, Fake TV costs less than a month of most alarm monitoring plans and comes with free shipping. Order your Fake TV by calling 877-5-FAKE-TV or go to faketv.com. That's 877-532-5388 or faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
We're talking about mining when we left. Alex Jones here, back live. But look at these stories up at Infowars.com. Ukraine government officially introduces slavery with vague terms. And that's the same government that, of course, was financed by the West. But does that mean Putin's an angel? No, it just means there's a clash between different power blocks. Also, CIA admits to destroying Gary Webb's career with the country's largest newspapers. This is so important. I'm going to cover that in the next hour. FBI critics, tech giants, Apple and Google, for encrypting phones. So the FBI is criticizing them. Military to allow undocumented immigrants to serve. That's already been going on. They're now just announcing it. That's all up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. A lot of news in the next hour. Some very important special reports and your phone calls. I'll open the phones up at the bottom of the next hour. I'll have Mr. Casey with me 5 minutes in the next hour, CaseyResearch.com. I want to shift gears now because we're almost out of time with this short segment in the next. What are you getting at when you call it the Putinization of energy, and you say that it's a long-term strategy by Putin? What's your view of Putin and global power blocks?
Well, I'm not a supporter of any politicians anywhere. They're all out for themselves, and it's entirely possible that Putin is actually the richest man in the world at this point, with having taken control indirectly of Russian energy companies. He may be worth $80 billion. Now, all that being said, Putin is not a stupid man, and he is a thoughtful man. And the main thing that Russia has going for it today, well, there are other things. It's got a corporate income tax that maxes out at 13%, a personal income tax that maxes out at 10%. In some ways, shocking to say, Russia has become freer than the United States has. But all that said, energy is the big play in Russia today, and there's good reason to believe that they're going to become relatively stronger for that reason. Energy, the whole world runs on energy. The whole world runs on oil, and the Russians produce a lot of it. So, and internally, Russia is much more stable than any of these countries in the Middle East. What's happening today in the totally artificial countries of Syria and Iraq, I mean, those things were created out of whole cloth in the boardrooms of Europe, as was Jordan, for that matter, as was Israel. But Saudi Arabia itself is a gigantic accident waiting to happen. And I expect something on the order of the Islamic State to overthrow that corrupt Islamic theocracy. I mean, half of the people in Saudi Arabia are under 25 years old. Most of them are unemployed and unhappy. So the place is a gigantic time bomb. So Russia is in an excellent position to capitalize on the problems in the Middle East.
And so now the West is trying to checkmate, basically stealing their gas lines, which makes the West pirates.
Well, you know, this whole thing that's blowing up in the Ukraine, you've got to look at it the way a Martian would look at it. And
hold on, Doug. Doug, do 5 more minutes with us. We got to have you back up on a routine basis. Doug Casey read his books years ago, got invited to speak at his event. And we tried to get him on before, but we finally got right to him in person. And so here he is. We'll be back. I'm Alex Jones. 3rd hour coming up.
This is GCN, the Genesis Communications Radio Network.
DNA Force.
When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in.
DNA Force.
No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies.
DNA Force.
We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
DNA Force.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put 2 and 2 together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor just won't quit.